Hello everyone and welcome to another in and out video. This time we're gonna talk about February and all the things that I have decluttered in February and that I have bought or that have come into my life in February in other ways. So let's get started with the things that I have decluttered. And the first one is actually really sad because it's my gloves and I haven't decluttered them on purpose, but I lost them. And it was a really bad situation because I usually I'm lucky, or I don't know, I maybe pay a lot of attention. I don't usually lose things, and if I do, I'm most of the time able to find them. And I know exactly when I lost them, I know exactly where I lost them. I went back there less than half an hour later and they were not there. Either I was completely mistaken or somebody else took them, which is of course sad because I really liked these gloves. They were great, they were warm. And now I don't have them anymore. I have used my boyfriend's gloves once when I was on a bike ride, but other than that, I'm just hoping for spring and I think we'll try to get some new gloves for next winter. But then we have some books that I have read this month. And let's start with the first one I read. It's this one. I showed it to you, I think, in my December in and out video because I got it for Christmas. It's a book about traveling, and actually when I started reading it, like the second page, I realized that I had read another book from this author before, and I checked and I was right. She wrote another book about traveling, but she wrote it about like traveling on her own when she was younger, and now she has a kid. Now she has actually two, I think. And this one was about traveling with a small kid and I really enjoyed it. She's a nice woman living in Germany with her partner and her child and traveling the world, trying to be sustainable as well. And so I really just enjoyed reading it. I will link you all the books that I can recommend down below in the description. Like the GoodReads page of them, so you can check them out and decide if you want to read them as well. This one is only available in German as far as I know. So I decluttered this because I liked it, but I don't need to keep it. But my sister wants to read it, so I'll keep it in my apartment, and next time I go to Switzerland, I bring it with me and bring it to her. And then the next book I read is this one. It's about feminism, but I do have to say, it's good, yes. There were a lot of numbers and like showing how women do not earn the same amount of money as men do, how women do care a lot more for children, like not they care more for them, but they spend a lot more time caring for children than men. But I think what it was lacking was any real like intersectional approach. She did touch a little bit on like that. Even no matter if you're a woman or a man, if you have less money, it's harder for you, but that was everything. Nothing about any other kind of like category where you would be less advantaged than being a woman or a man. And so it's more like, it's like mainstream feminism kind of. I think it was insightful, but not enough. Like we need to go further. We need to talk about like other ways of discrimination. It's not just you're a woman, you're a man. There are so many more things. For example, your skin color, your religion, if you are disabled. So many more things that can play into if you can make it in like the corporate world, or if you can allow yourself to have enough free time. If you have a partnership where you can split who takes care of the kids evenly or to your like satisfaction, things like that. So I think it was okay. Not my favorite book. The next I read was this one. It's about a guy living in a Bavarian forest, and he doesn't really completely live in the forest, but he like has a house there and he just spends like half of his time in the forest. And it's a lot about like back to nature, spending time in nature, having respect for nature and things like that. But on the other hand, he's like really, I don't know, he judges a lot. No, he doesn't want everybody to live in the forest, but he has a lot of opinions on how to live right that are, I think, a bit short-sighted, if I can say so. I think it was insightful. I learned more about like animals that live in Germany in the wild, which was interesting, but I didn't like him as a person very, very much. And it's another one that's only available in German, I think, as the other two as well. And then the last one, maybe also only available in German, is one that came into my life this month. When I had COVID, I got a care package for my boyfriend's parents, and in there was this book, and they do know that I love books about traveling, and I think that's why they picked it out. And it's also like a best-selling author and things like that. But I do have to say, I really did not like this book. He is the age of my grandparents, yes, kind of, but he's ignorant, he's sexist, he's racist, and he just views all of his travel experiences through a lens of like, oh, that's exotic. Oh, well, they are so weird for doing it that way. And he judges on religion, on customs, on every way like people are. He thinks everything is like funny and for his entertainment. And that's just not how I think a person that's traveling the world should view it. I think you should be open. You should learn from other people. You should just not judge right away. And so I do have to say, reading this book kind of made me angry. And I'm sure he had a lot of fun traveling. I'm sure he didn't like mean to be racist or sexist, but that just doesn't change that I think if you publish a book like that, it's like newly published, I think, somebody should look over it and just say like, no, this crosses a line on like every second page. And so I did read like the complete book, and I think it did get a bit better towards like the middle and the end, but maybe I also just got used to it. I don't recommend it. I really don't recommend it. So, but on a better note, I have one last thing that I have decluttered this month, and is this pair of jeans. And I mean, I got them for free at a clothing swap, and I was happy I found them. I thought it was great that you could adjust like the waistband, but I did not like the color. I did not like the cut. So I'm really glad I could declutter them. And you're gonna see right now why I could declutter them. Because we're gonna move on to the things that have come into my life this month. And this was the first one. It's gonna go right out, and I don't even know if I want to put it in a public like bookshelf, because I don't know if I want anybody else to read this. And talking about the jeans, I found the pair of jeans that I wanted to have on the online like secondhand marketplace that I usually look for clothes. And it was just a lot less expensive than the other ones are usually. So if you buy this pair of pants new, I think it costs around 100 euros. Sometimes 110, sometimes only 90, depending on kind of the color and if they have a sale or something. But this is not the exact color I wanted. I wanted to have the like washed down black, but I thought like it will wash down eventually while wearing it. So I'm fine with that. And I got the smallest size, even though like the website recommends for me to get a little bit like one size taller, I think. But a subscriber or like a viewer reached out and told me that they usually stretch over time. Like it's 100% cotton, which is great. But they usually, like after washing, yes, they're tighter, but then with wearing, they stretch out a bit. And so I'm super happy I got this pair of jeans, and I think it fits well. I like it. I am so happy I have another pair of pants now. I like the black a lot better than the blue. I hope it like washes down a bit with time, and I really like the cut. And so this is the first thing that came into my life. Oh, okay, maybe if you were wondering, like secondhand, they usually cost about 80 or 70 euros, but I found this for 56. So that was great. And it's also, the person said that she has only worn it like twice. And so I was happy, because if I have like a pair of jeans, but that has been worn like 100 times already, then maybe, you know, I don't know. I think it's good quality. So I hope I can use it, like wear it 1,000 times, but we'll see. And then moving on to the next thing that has come into my life, this is this watch. And I've already showed it to you in a video that went live, I think a week ago, and I can link it up here for you too. I think it's a really good one about what minimalism changed in my life and how it changed my life for the better, I think, the lesson I really learned. But this is a Nordgreen watch, and Nordgreen is a sustainability-minded business. They try to like have this Scandinavian simple design, but also try to approach making watches in a more sustainable way. And I do have a discount code for you down below in the description. It's for 15% off. And they also have refurbished watches, because one is a refurbished one, because I feel even better if I have a refurbished one and not a new one, no matter if they try to be sustainable or not. Yeah, so I'm gonna link you the code down below. You can check them out if you need a watch. And that's another thing that has come into my life, just because I think having a watch to just simply check the time and not take your phone to check the time and then maybe losing time because I forget that I wanted to check the time. That's something that happens to me way too often. So I try to get used to just checking my time on my watch, and it has been, it has been good several times, and I think I'm getting used to it, and I think I'm getting value from it, and I think it's really beautiful and simple. And then, while I was sick, I also got a package from my grandma. I got it a bit later, but she sent it when I was sick, and she sent me knitting needles. And I think I talked about that I wanted knitting needles, and she also knits. She has been knitting for like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years. And so we talked like on Messenger back and forth about how I would spend my time being isolated in one room. And I said I was knitting, but I had to like I had to finish one piece to have the needles to start the next piece. And she said like, well, you need needles. I'm gonna send you some needles. So she sent me some knitting needles, and these ones are Knit Pro needles, and these have like individual needle tips or like needles, and then you have a cord in between. That's like the shortest one, but let me see if I can find, this one is a bit longer, but then you can like change the length, change the needle size, whatever, and it's a lot more flexible. You have to have less pieces. You can like easily change the needle size while knitting something. You can easily like make some needles free if you need some needles that are sticking in a different project. You can even take off the needles and put on these stopper things so that your project doesn't like slip off the needles if you're not like working on it right now. So she just sent me like a kit of basically all the needle sizes I need and all the cables I need. And so I'm very thankful, and I'm gonna use those, and I'm gonna like package them differently, because it's not the most practical thing. I think this is what it comes in or something, but maybe I'm gonna take it out of all of this plastic and throw away all the paper and make it just better for me to use, but I haven't done that yet. So new needles is something else I got this month from my grandma. Yeah, and then we have one last thing, and that's actually another thing that I'm very grateful for. One of you reached out on Instagram and told me that you have a bunch of sock wool you don't need or you can't use up because you have kids and you just don't have the time to knit socks. And you sent me a huge package. It's a lot bigger than I thought initially, of sock wool, and I'm gonna show you now. So if you're watching this, thank you so much. I'm really happy about this. And for everybody else, if you want me to knit socks for you, now I think I can start, because I have enough sock wool now. I'm gonna show it like this. It's just a giant package, and I really don't have any room to store my wool. I really have to start selling my pieces to make some more space for the new wool. And so we just have like, these are pretty big skeins, and we have just different colorways of, I think, similar wool. And also like another kind of wool in different colors. This one is just a bluish gray. And I have to say, I think there are beautiful colors and different colors. And I think it's just, there are colors for everybody. This is also a very interesting one, I think. Let me see if it will focus. Yes, I think this one is a very pretty one too. Oh, and this one, these two. Now you can't really see it. It's just very like pastel colors, but kind of a whole pastel rainbow. Yes. Let me see. A different one is this one. Yes. Should we empty it out completely and see how many there are? Maybe. Let's see. And to be honest, it's like a lot of sock wool, and I think she bought those new, and there's even a price on here, and it's like 7.5 euros. So it's like over 100 euros worth of sock wool. Thank you so much if you're watching. I'm really grateful. I'm happy that I can use the wool that you don't have time to use. And I'm sure I will make beautiful socks out of them for me and for you too. So it's 36 skeins of wool. I'm gonna show you in its entirety. And now I just have to find a place to put them and knit socks out of them and sell them and use them. So I think these have been all the things. Oh, one thing I decluttered today, part of my hair. I got a haircut. I'm happy. I think she did a good job. And I might go to her again in a few months when this back part is longer again and gets annoying. So that has been everything I have decluttered and that I have like invited into my life in February. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see another video, I do recommend you watch this video right here. It's 10 things I thought I could live without, but I realized I actually want them or need them. And I think it's interesting to talk about that from like a minimalist perspective of like really weighing if you need something, if something brings you value. So I do hope to see you over there, and goodbye.